This video explains how to calculate the lowest smoother for a time series in the R programming language. So without too much talk, let's dive into the R code. In this tutorial, I will show you an example, and this example is based on the Beavers dataset that we can load with line 2 of the code. So if you run this line of code, you can see at the top right of RStudio that two new datasets are appearing, which are called Beaver 1 and Beaver 2. We are going to use the Beaver 1 dataset, and we can print the first 6 rows of this dataset, as you can see in line 3 of the code. So after running this line of code, you can see at the bottom in the RStudio console that the Beaver 1 dataset contains a temperature column, which is measuring the beaver temperature over certain time points. And in this tutorial, we are interested in the minutes from the first time point and in the temperature column. And for that reason, we are creating two new variables which are called minutes and temperature based on the Beaver dataset. So if you run lines 5 and 6 of the code, those two variables are appearing at the top right. And now in the next step, we can use the Lowess function, as you can see in line 8 of the code, to calculate the lowest smoother based on these two variables. So all we have to do is we have to specify the two variables within the Lowess function, and then we can store the output of this in a new data object that I'm calling Lowess values. So if you run line 8 of the code, this new data set called Lowess values is appearing at the top right. And now in the next step, in lines 10 and 11 of the code, we can draw our original data, minutes and temperature, to a new plot. So if you run these lines of code, you can see at the bottom right that our data is shown, and on the x-axis you can see the minutes, and on the y-axis you can see the corresponding temperature measures. In the next step, we can then use the lines function to draw our Lowess values that we have calculated before on top of this plot. So if you run line 12 of the code, you can see that our plot is updated. And as you can see, the Lowess function has created a smooth line that corresponds to our data points. You can also see that this line is very different compared to the original data points. And for that reason, the Lowess function also provides the f argument, as you can see in the next example, starting in line 14 of the code. And based on this argument, we can specify the smoother spans. So in other words, we can smoothen the line more or less. So if we run lines 14 to 16 of the code, our plot is recreated. And then in line 17 of the code, I'm using a smoother span of 0.1, and I'm adding this on top of our plot. So if you run line 17 of the code, you can see that another line is shown on top of the plot. However, you can see that this line is much closer to the original data points than our default Lowess application that I have shown in the previous example. You can now change this value as you want. So in the next step, I'm using a smoother span where f is equal to 5. So if you run line 18 of the code, you can see that another line is added on top of our plot, and this line is even more different compared to our original data points. We can also add a legend to our plot to identify the different lines, as you can see in lines 20 to 25. So if you run these lines of code, you can see at the top left of our plot that we have created a legend which is identifying the different smoother spans. So the red line is corresponding to the default smoothing, the green line is corresponding to the smoother span equal to 0.1, and the blue line is corresponding to a smoother span of 5. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage, statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video, so you can find it there. If you have liked this video, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel, and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.